Good morning, members of the media and public. My name is Vivian Rodriguez, an openly gay Latina, leader in the community, and I welcome you today. I thank all the women that are here with me to support Senator Darren Soto for his candidacy in Congressional District 9. I stand here today supporting Darren Soto for Congressional District 9 because he has a proven record that he will fight to block discriminatory legislation and protect women's rights. His opponent has falsely misrepresented to many voters that he does not have the support of Planned Parenthood. But the truth of the matter is that Planned Parenthood has endorsed State Senator Darren Soto in each of his 3 last elections. Darren Soto is also a champion in fighting for the LGBT community and was a co-sponsor of SB 120, Prohibited Discrimination, also known as the Florida Competitive Workforce Act, which the sole purpose was to revise provisions to include sexual orientation, gender identity, or expression to protect the rights of the LGBT community in the workplace. State Senator Darren Soto also led a filibuster to block the anti-LGBT adoption bill. At this time, I would like to introduce to the podium a community leader in Osceola County, Sherry Morton.
I support Darren Soto because he fought to expand Medicaid, and in Congress he will work hard to strengthen Social Security and Medicare. Since women live longer than men, we are disproportionately affected by a cap on benefits or a reduction in services, which makes Social Security and Medicare especially important to women. I trust Darren Soto.
I would like to now introduce Christine Byron, a mother who also supports Darren Soto.
Hi, this is Dorothy, my 1.5-year-old. As a mother, I support Darren Soto because Darren fought to protect pregnant women by pushing to add them to the anti-discrimination clause in Florida's laws.
I would now like to introduce Denise Salagore, a former educator in the public school system.
Good morning. I support Darren Soto because he understands, I support Darren Soto because he fought to increase funding for school construction in Osceola County by over $4 million in order for our kids to have a safe place to learn. He was also instrumental in bringing a Valencia College campus to Point Siena. I am especially proud of his efforts to pay teachers sponsoring a better bill to start their salaries at a minimum of $50,000 a year.
I would like to now introduce Ingrid Morfer, an immigration attorney.
I support Darren Soto because he understands immigration and diversity. He fought for Dreamers and supports comprehensive immigration reform that makes sense. In the state of Florida, he successfully passed a bill to make it easier for Dreamers to obtain their driver's licenses and for Dreamer law students to be admitted to the Florida bar. Darren Soto understands what the immigrant community needs, and he will represent us in Congress.
At this time, we had Danielle Sullivan, who could not make it today because of previous work commitments, but she sent a statement for me to read. 6 years ago, I was sexually assaulted. When I went to the police to report it, I was 43 days too late. That experience led me to start the 43 Days Initiative. My goal was to increase the statute of limitations for rape victims so another woman didn't have to go through what I went through. I support Darren Soto because when I asked him to join me in fighting for sexual assault victims, he said yes. We continue to fight until we successfully doubled the statute of limitations. I was disgusted when I heard that one of his opponents, Susanna Randolph, twisted our work around. The bill that represented closure for me was misrepresented in an effort to deceive voters and attack Darren Soto. What Susanna did was wrong. She told an out lie. When we called her out on her lie, Susanna didn't apologize or even try to correct the record. She doubled down on her lie. Susanna Randolph cannot be trusted. I'll continue to wait for my apology. At this time, I would like to introduce State Senator Darren Soto, the Democratic candidate for U.S. House District 9.
Thank all of you for coming today. We really appreciate it. You know, it was a brave, strong woman, Hillary Rodham Clinton, who said, "Women's rights are human rights, and human rights are women's rights." And I followed that as a credo for my political career, and I thank you all for all your support. We fought to make sure that we have equality by pushing for the ERA, which Florida still has yet to adopt. We fought to make sure that we protect women's reproductive rights. And yes, I have been endorsed by Planned Parenthood for the last 3 elections. And I was honored to fight to make sure that the 24-hour waiting period was stopped. I was even quoted in the brief that ended up ultimately stopping that plan from going through. And this past year, we worked heavily with ACLU and Planned Parenthood to make sure that the admitting privileges bill and the bill dealing with surgical centers, which was just struck down by the Supreme Court in the Texas case, didn't see the light of day. And of course, there are issues in the workplace. I was proud to work with Senator Geraldine Thompson. We fought for 2 years to finally get pregnant women to be able to be part of a class that's protected. We had folks in the service industry and so many other industries who were being fired. And that was a big fight because we had a lot of employer pushback, but we fought and we got it through ultimately, and I am proud of Senator Thompson for what her good work was as well. And certainly the biggest legacy has been in victim rights. You know, we see over and over again that women tend to be the vast majority of those who are victims in sexual assault and rape cases. It's a terrible thing that can never be erased. And so when Danielle Sullivan asked for me as well as Representative Placencia to work in a bipartisan fashion to put forward a bill that would protect women because we only had a 4-year statute of limitations, I was honored to help her. I was honored to stand by her, and we worked through a Senate that, you know, frankly, gave us a little trouble at first. And so we did what we did to make sure that we could double the statute of limitations and ultimately bring justice to so many women. And I want to end by just talking about a conversation I had with Danielle personally. She had mentioned through their chat groups that over 100 women have come forward in Orange County since the statute of limitations was doubled to now go to the sheriff's office and ask for a prosecution. So it's making a big difference, not only here in Orange County, but across our state. So I just want to thank you all again so much. I think of my wife, I think of my mother, and I think of so many strong women in my campaign, including my campaign manager, and the list goes on with our field directors. And for most of my career, I've always had women working for us or working with us as advisors because, like my strong mother and very much my strong wife, Amanda, I have always sought to make sure to surround myself with strong female leaders to make sure that we have a wonderful perspective from all people. So thank you again for having us, and I'll take individual questions after the event's over. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you coming today.